Hello and welcome to this Club Secretary Training Workshop for District 133 Lions Clubs Ireland. My name is Karl. I am the District Secretary of District 133. So firstly, congratulations on your role as Club Secretary for the coming year. So now that you are the Secretary, what should you do? Well, the aim of this workshop is to provide you with some practical tools and guidance to help you in carrying out your role as Secretary. If you are attending this training in person, the resources that you will see mentioned will be emailed to you after the workshop. If you are seeing this on YouTube or on Facebook, you can email secretary@lionsclubs.ie and I will be able to email those out to you. So firstly, what are the duties of the Club Secretary? So these are the main duties, but each club may have a variant or slightly different duties depending on the makeup of the club. So the first thing is to prepare the agenda and to record and circulate minutes of all meetings. The Secretary should also keep all files that are pertinent. The Secretary, he or she, should maintain a club roster and report membership to LCI. Organise that all service activity is recorded on MyLCI. The Secretary should also manage club correspondence, and whether that be electronic or postal. The Secretary should actively participate in zone meetings, providing reports to the zone chair 3 times per year. And when the term of office is finished, the Secretary will turn over all records to the new incoming Secretary. So in relation to club meetings, your agenda. In advance of each club meeting, the Secretary should prepare the agenda for the meeting, and this is done often in consultation with the President or other club members. Ideally, all members should receive a copy of the agenda in advance of the meeting, most likely by email. The agenda should include minutes from the previous meeting, the financial reports, a membership report, report on all previous projects, updates on current and upcoming projects, a section for GDPR, dates for the diary for members, any correspondence, and AOB, any other business. A sample template for the club meeting agenda will be included in the Secretary pack if you are attending this workshop in person. And again, if not, you can email secretary@lionsclubs.ie and I will send it out to you. So this is what the template agenda should look like. Now, many clubs have their own agenda template, and that's fine. But if you wish to use this one, this may be of help to you during your year as Secretary. In terms of attendance, regular attendance at meetings for all members should obviously be encouraged. And the Club Secretary can assist with this by making the regular club meetings a positive and meaningful experience for members. Attendance at all meetings, including apologies, should be recorded in the minutes of that meeting. And again, a template for the attendance sheet is included in the Secretary pack for this workshop as well. And this is how it looks. Very simple. Each member signs in at the beginning. In terms of minutes, one of the main roles of the Club Secretary is, of course, to record the minutes of the business proceedings of each club meeting. The focus should be on concisely recording the decisions agreed, the actions to be taken, and who is responsible for each of those actions. It's not necessary to record the full story of the meeting, but rather make it action focused. Minutes should be circulated as soon as possible after the club meeting so that actions can be followed up on by all relevant parties. And in fact, it's good practice then to recirculate those minutes just in advance of the next meeting. Again, a sample template for the club minutes is included in the Secretary's pack for this workshop. And it looks a little bit like this. So again, the minutes of the last meeting, the proposer and seconder, and the same proposer and seconder for the financial reports. And then the rest of the minutes goes through the different reports and actions. All actions should be logged on the side of the report. And again, at the bottom then, there is a section for GDPR, which should be mentioned at all meetings, and also dates for the diary upcoming, any correspondence and appeals, and AOB. I find that it's helpful at the bottom to also include the time that the meeting included, and to try and motivate members. If the meeting is quick and concise, it's good for the members to know that if they missed one, the next meeting is likely to be just as short and concise as well. So the next job of the secretary relates to reporting on MyLCI. Lions Clubs International has two main websites or apps that club secretaries need to be familiar with. One of them is MyLCI and the other one is MyLion. You can log into both of them by going to myapps.lionsclubs.org. So the MyLCI website is used to keep membership details up to date and to report membership numbers for your club each month. Secretaries should ensure also that each member has an up-to-date email address along with a phone number, address, postal, and a date of birth. In fact, even if the membership, if the member's date of birth is not exact, but the year is correct, that's very helpful to District 133. So on MyLCI, one of the first tasks should be to register for MyLCI. So when you log on, you can check to see what all of the members who are listed for your club, update the members lists by adding or dropping members as required. You can check to see if all the members have their details recorded correctly, and again, particularly check the address, the email address, phone number, and date of birth, and to ensure that the club's monthly meeting date and venue are updated. When you go to log into MyLCI, you visit this address, as I've already mentioned, and if you don't have an account, you can click register. You'll be guided through the registration process. For that registration process, you're going to need to have your membership number, which if you don't know what it is, you can email secretary@lionsclubs.ie and I will be able to send that out to you. You'll need to know what your date of birth is as registered on MyLCI, and this is where it becomes really important that dates of birth registered are correct on the database as they are used as part of the login process. And again, the email address that's listed on MyLCI. Your previous club secretary should be able to provide you with these membership details. But if not, you can email me and I should be able to send those out to you. There are times when login becomes tricky and it goes beyond what we in District 133 can help you with, because we are not the overall administrators of the MyLCI website. So if you do need to get in touch with the support team in America, you can email mylci@lionsclubs.org, or you can phone them on the number that's listed there. Just remember that when you're phoning them that they are 6 hours behind Ireland. They're in Chicago. When you log on to MyLCI, when you do get logged in, you should see this front page. And again, it will have details related to whatever the club is that you are a member of. At the bottom of the screen, you'll also see a list of the membership status and when your last membership reports were done, and you'll see the district officers. At the top, there are two main sections here. One of them relates to your own Lions Club. So all of these drop-down menus here will relate to your own Lions Club. And then on the opposite side, you'll see one related to the district. And you should be able to see the different clubs in the district officers, etc. The most important one for you really will be your own club here. When you click into the members section, it'll tell you at the top how many members you have listed in the club, and it'll give you a list of members underneath and their details. At the top, you'll also be given the opportunity to add a new member or to report no changes for the month. So in general, it's a good practice to log in each month, report your membership by clicking no changes if there's no extra changes, or indeed add a member if you have updated your membership, or if you need to drop a member because they've left your club, that can be done here also. So you can see here beside each member, there is the option to drop the member. Also listed under this are club reports. And so you can download and generate a number of different club reports here using this tab. One of the main jobs of the secretary each year is to report on MyLCI who the upcoming club officers are for the coming year. So in this case, you would select, so first of all, you go to club officers, you click on this tab here, which is select term, and you can click, well, the first one that's there obviously is going to be the current year, but if you're selecting officers for the coming year, you click on that, select next year, and then you enter in the members who are going to be under each of the titles. Most important that you at least have president, secretary, and treasurer listed, but you can also list other roles like first vice president, you can list membership secretary, service chairperson, LCIF chairperson, etc., depending on what your club has as officers. And when it comes to reporting service, sorry, MyLCI is to report membership, but MyLine is the app that's used to report service activity completed by clubs. And the main purpose is to record the number of people served, how many volunteers were involved, what the number of volunteer hours was, and the total number of hours by volunteers serving within the community. And you can also note any funds donated. Reporting also notes the different categories that club service falls into. Now, there is a video that you can view on how to report. It can be found on our Lions Clubs Ireland YouTube channel. So when you log into MyLine, first of all, you'll see the home screen, and again, your club will be listed here. It will tell you how many people you've served, service activities completed, and funds donated. Then you go to click on Report Past Activity. Once you've clicked that, a large orange tab comes up asking you to click here to report. Then an activity form comes up where you list the name of the activity. Then you put in the dates for the activity. So you can either say it was a single day activity or multiple days. If it's multiple days, you'll be asked for a date range. You click the activity type. Sometimes that activity type will fall under the category of one of the global causes. Those global causes, for anyone who's not familiar with them, are diabetes, hunger, vision, the environment, and childhood cancer. The further along you go, sorry, there we see a list of those global causes here. When you click into one of the causes, it will allow you then to select a project type. And so depending on what cause you've selected, or you can select other, and then you'll be offered a variety of different project types for that. You'll be asked to fill in how many people have been served, the total number of volunteers for that, and then the total number of volunteer hours. So that basically means if you have 10 volunteers and each of them works for 2 hours, well, that's 20 total volunteer hours. At the bottom, I would suggest that you click to show it to everybody so that everybody sees what service your club is doing, and you can add a little description at the end if you wish. You can also upload any photo that you would like to have, or multiple photos if you wish to have them attached to that service report. And then at the very bottom, make sure that you don't click Save as Draft, that you click to report the service. The next major task of the club secretary is to deal with correspondence. So club secretaries manage club correspondence both inward and outward. Most club correspondence, including correspondence from Lions Clubs International and District 133, is directed to the club secretary, who should forward it on to the relevant officers or members, depending on what it is that's coming in. All relevant correspondence should be brought to the next club meeting and responded to in a timely fashion. Correspondence can be through a variety of methods, including post, email, and indeed social media. The club secretary should also forward any relevant information and emails from Lions Clubs International and District 133 to the club members. There is also a standard template for club note paper, which can be used by the secretary for correspondence, and that's included in the secretary's pack. It looks something like this. It can be amended at the top to suit your Lions Club and, of course, your Lions Club's email address. When it comes to club records, agendas and minutes should be retained and filed after all meetings. Now, that doesn't have to be paper copies, they can be filed as digital copies, and they should be stored in a way that is GDPR compliant. Full documentation of all key business operations, including minutes, agendas, Committee reports, financial statements, elections, membership applications should be maintained, whatever is relevant to your club. You may also be asked to retain and file financial documents or legal documents. Documentation and records should be stored in accordance with the GDPR policy of the club. When it comes to membership records, it is really important that club secretaries review and update the club roster on MyLCI at least twice a year in November and May, but that can be done on a running basis throughout the year. Your club will be invoiced twice a year by the International Association, and District 133 also invoice dues twice yearly. Prior to invoicing your club members for the total club dues, the roster needs to be reviewed. Make sure that this accurately portrays the list of members that are still active within your club, because whatever members are listed on MyLCI for your club, that's what your club will be charged in terms of dues. Ensure that the club roster for December and June have been reviewed thoroughly. The Lions fiscal year runs from July to June. Of course, another major task for the club secretary is in relation to the district convention each year. The annual convention of District 133 normally takes place at the beginning of March each year. All clubs who are in good standing, those who have paid their international and their district dues, are entitled to one voting delegate for each 10 or major fraction thereof of its members who have been enrolled for at least 1 year and a day on the first day of February. So, for example, if your club has 1 to 14 members, you get 1 voting delegate. If you have 15 to 24 members, you get 2 voting delegates, and so on and so forth. The club secretary should return a list of the delegates who wish to register and send that to the district secretary prior to convention. Also on this list should be any members who are deceased within the last year, so that they can be included in the remembrance service at convention that year. All club officers, including secretaries, of course, are encouraged to attend convention each year, and secretaries can play a major role in helping to encourage some of the newer members within the club to also attend convention. When it comes to club officer elections, they're normally held in March or April each year for the coming year. All newly elected officers should then be recorded by the club secretary, as I previously mentioned, on MyLCI by the end of April. And this is to facilitate the compilation of the district directory for the coming year. And it's really important that your club's officers are up to date. Also important that your club meeting date and time and venue is up to date. That can be done within the section there called Club Info. So when you go on to the officers for the coming year, you will see that all of the officerships are vacant. Once you click on Add Officer, you can then add an officer, any of the members within your club, to that role. Now we've come to the end of the presentation. There are various links here to some very helpful resources, including the Club Secretary ebook from Lions International. I've already mentioned the templates which can be emailed to any club secretary should they wish. MyLine and MyLCI login. There are some great digital resources on lionsclubs.ie, our own district website. And then the LCI Resource Centre and club resources can also be looked at by any secretary or indeed any member. And if there's anything that you feel that the district can help you with in your role as secretary during the course of the year, please feel free to get in touch, reach out to either the district governor at dg@lionsclubs.ie, the district secretary at lionsclubs.ie, or district treasurer, which is treasurer@lionsclubs.ie, depending on what your query is. And if you haven't already done so, perhaps you might consider following our Lions Clubs of Ireland social media accounts. So thank you for joining us today. And if there's anything that you wish, please do get in touch.